So I'm Abigayle Goldstein, and this story is, You Know I Love You, Right? Hikaru. I look up at him. He is gazing at me. Something on his mind, I think. Hikaru, you know I love you, right? His stare is affectionate, but there's something sad about it. Of course I do. You know I love you too? But he doesn't respond. He just keeps staring at me. He is tapping his foot and his fingers. The phone rings and he answers. I only hear his side of the conversation, but I can deduce what he's talking about. Yes, of course. I understand. No, I understand. Today. Of course. Yes. Okay. He hangs up the phone with a sigh. We are surrounded by boxes. His landlord is kicking us out because he's selling the place. How's it coming on finding a new apartment? I ask him. He taps his fingers sharply on the kitchen counter before responding. I haven't found a new place. He's anxious. I want to comfort him, but he's lost in thought. He sends a text. When the answer comes, it seems bad. His face grows dark. It'll be okay, I say. My mom offered her spare room, he says. He stares out the window at the neighborhood moving along outside. That'll be okay for now, I say. We can share the space, no problem. He only sighs in response. I get up and move over to him. I wish he would put a hand on me, but he doesn't. In fact, he seems to purposefully lean away from me. He doesn't wish to be touched. That's okay. I understand. Everything is going to be okay, I say. I know the words seem empty, but I believe them, and I hope he can draw some encouragement from me. You want to go for a drive? He asks suddenly. Of course, I say. He is very particular. Well organized, put together. I watch as he grabs his wallet from its place on the counter and slides it into his back pocket. He grabs his keys from where they hang by the door. He checks quickly to make sure no windows are open and the stove is off. Then we are out the front door. He drives a simple blue Camry. He has never been one for having more than necessary. We have been together for so long. I love him dearly. It's a beautiful day, so we drive with the windows down. I like to rest my cheek on the door so I can smell the fresh air. The whole world seems warm and smells like fresh-cut grass and cherry blossoms. We go in a direction I've never been before, but I trust him. He knows his way around very well, and he has always taken care of me, even when I know I've been a burden. I turn to watch him as he drives. His mood has not changed. His fingers tap frantically on the steering wheel. He flicks his turn signal and makes a right, maneuvering us into the parking lot of a small, shabby-looking building, the animal shelter. Oh, wow, I exclaim. Are we adopting a new pet? That will help you get your spirits up. He is quiet as we slowly walk toward the building. I press on. You know, I'm not a huge fan of dogs, but if it'll make you happy, I'm sure we can find one that's well-behaved. And I'm a really great judge of a cat, so let me help you choose the right one for us. He doesn't respond. We enter the building. It's so loud with barking and squawking and meowing that I can't hear what he is saying to the people at the desk. I'm distracted by all the pets here who need homes. It makes me sad that they don't have all the love and support that I've found in my life, and a part of me wishes I could make it better for all of them the way he made it better for me. When he's finished speaking to the employees, he turns to me. He is incredibly tall, thin, and lithe. He likes to run. He keeps his hair trimmed close to his head. His hands are huge. I'm pretty small, so he has made a habit of resting his hand on top of my head. He does so now, and then crouches on the balls of his feet so he can look me right in the eye. He is crying, and suddenly I am very afraid. Hikaru, you know I love you, right? He asks me again, softly. A tear falls down his cheek and drops off his chin. Of course I do, but why are you crying? What's wrong? I ask, feeling a bit frantic. In response, he only ruffles my hair a little and stands back up. I am so focused on his face that I don't notice a female shelter employee come up behind me. Suddenly, she seizes me. I can't break free from her grasp. I cry out to him, but he turns away. He turns his back to me. His shoulders are shaking, but he doesn't turn around. I scream for him to rescue me, but he walks away. He walks out of the building. The female employee drags me to another room, one like a hospital with an examination table in the middle. Finally, she lets me go, and I throw myself against the door, desperate to escape. I scream for somebody to help me. I scream for him to come back and save me. Nobody comes. The female employee sits on a chair in the corner of the room. When it's clear that I won't be able to get out of the room, I turn to face her. How could you do this to me? I hiss at her. I am furious and terrified and confused. I'm sorry, she says. Her head is in her hands. When she looks up, I can see that she is crying, just like he was. She whispers, I'm sorry, Hikaru. Can you at least tell me what's going on? I ask. No response. She simply looks at me with so much pity in her eyes. The door behind me opens and another man walks in. You okay? He asks her. He can tell that she's been crying. Not really, she says. He walks over to her and places a comforting hand on her shoulder. I understand, but don't worry. Everything is going to be okay. It feels like he is talking to me. I wish he was talking to me. I wish he would put his comforting hand on my shoulder. My head aches. I want to cry. She speaks up again. Did he tell you why? She looks at the man with piercing, questioning eyes. I would also like to know the answer to this question, so I am quiet as can be. The usual list of excuses. He mentioned that his landlord kicked him out of his apartment. He's trying to find a new home, but he doesn't make much money. His mother offered him a place to stay, but with the condition that he come alone. Apparently, she has some sort of aversion to the poor thing. Plus, with the illness, it's just a waiting game at this point, so can't take care of him. He's in too much pain. The usual. The man sighs. The female employee shakes her head, the look on her face now more angry than upset. It's not fair, she says. No, it's not, he responds, but it must be done. Won't anybody else want him? At his age, in his condition? Hardly. The kindest thing we can do for him is make him comfortable and be there for him. What are they talking about, I wonder? My pain? I've lived with it for many years. It's never inhibited me. I didn't think it was a burden to him, but maybe I was wrong. He didn't mention that his mother doesn't like me or that he's come upon hard times. How much more don't I know? And what happens now? The female employee and the man turn towards me. I sense that they mean well. They have kind faces, but I'm afraid. I want to struggle, but I have become tired, so I simply lay down where they direct me. She uses a bandage to wrap my arm and insert a needle. I am afraid. I don't know why this is happening, but I think I do. I wish he was here with me. Why did he leave? Then I feel a cool, pleasant rush of fluid enter my veins. Suddenly, everything feels like it will be okay. The man and woman are standing over me, and their faces are comforting. She puts a hand on my head, the way he once did. I'm very tired. I would like to sleep. Good night, little one, the female employee says to me, softly and sadly. Sweet dreams. I love you, I whisper. I am thinking about him as I drift off.